This is I Only Touch Greatness Remix. Scan the code and follow.
What's up, everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, the Godfather, and you're listening to I Only Touch Greatness. Peace. Stay on that smoke train. So I just kept lifting weights. Now I'm hanging out with football players, and I'm kind of learning some stuff, and I'm doing drills because I've always been really strong. So now it's my sophomore my sophomore year, and I'm 275, and I'm bench pressing 400 pounds.
Holy shit!
500 pounds because I've always. This is no fucking steroids. I don't have a steroid body. This is no steroids. This is just me because I've always. That's why I was a good basketball player because I was strong, and the other kids weren't as strong as me, and they didn't want the ball as bad as I wanted it anyway. And so one of the coaches from the basketball school that I went to University of Nevada, Reno as a football coach, that he knew me. And he's like, hey, the coach was Coach Chris Alt, who's a famous coach now. He's like, hey, I got this kid who's a basketball player, but he can do all this. He can lift all this, but he could dunk a basketball behind his head. And he's almost 300 pounds. I think I was 290, 285. Long story short, I went to Reno and they flew me to Reno. They put a basketball in my hand. I was dunking basketballs, taking shots. Mind you, I'm a basketball player. Never played tackle football in my life besides just friends, never with gear on.
Yeah.
Right? They gave me a full ride scholarship.
Wow.
And I got a full ride scholarship. Never, ever have played football, organized tackle football in my life. After that was over, I ended up coming out to Vegas to check out. I was a cowboy biker back then, and that's where all the tattoos and stuff came from.
Yeah,
I was more of a biker back then than anything, and listen to country music.
One of your first gimmicks, we're talking basketball there. One of your first gimmick and characters was Sir Charles, named after Charles Barkley.
That was only because that was my tryout.
Yeah.
And they wanted to come up with a name for me. So we were in Portland where Charles Barkley played at the time.
Yeah.
So they called me Sir Charles just to get heat on me. Because when I went out there, people booed me because I was calling myself Sir Charles. That's the only time I ever wrestled as Sir Charles.
Okay.
You know what? I wish I could find that reel or what that match looked like. Because I probably, at that time, I was just killing people. So I probably beat the hell out of somebody.
Mike?
Yeah. What's your favorite venue you wrestled in?
Don't have one, bro. You know what? Before we get into this, I don't have a favorite match. I don't have a favorite color. There's so many cool venues, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Vancouver. I mean,
yeah.
Historically wise, people would say Madison Square Garden, Wembley Stadium, but dude, I mean, it's just, they're all cool. I mean, they're all cool in their own way. I don't know. I can't answer and then when you ask me, what was your favorite match? I'm like, you can't ask you that. You would have to say, what was your favorite match against The Undertaker? Then you'd have to say, well, which was it, as Papa Shango? Was it as Kama? Was it as Godfather?
Yeah.
Because I've been so many different things and I've been in so many cool matches. It's just, I mean, they had the Attitude Era, this era, all the little eras in the 90s to the, early 2000s, I was part of as one character or another. Yeah. So I can't give, I think the best technical match I ever had, before you even ask me this question.
It's on the list.
The best technical match I ever had was against Shawn Michaels. It was a King of the Ring. We had to go 30-minute Broadway because if you go Broadway, you're both eliminated. They wanted to eliminate us both and not beat either one of us. And so I'd never been in a match that long in my life. Right? And so Shawn, I shut the fuck up and let him call the match, even my heat. And it was probably the best match I ever had technically. And we went 20, I don't know, you have to look it up. We went 20, 30 minutes, but it was him. He called the whole thing. And, and I worked with him, but I let him call even my heat. And that's probably why, because he was, so much better at that than I was.
You were almost going to be an NWO member at one point.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
That would have been awesome. Can you tell us that story? I'm a huge NWO guy. We had Eric Bischoff on here too recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And your good friend, actually, Savio Vega was on here.
Yes, sir. Really, BSK.
Yeah. That's for sure. We were going to ask you about that.
I never dealt with Eric Bischoff at all on this thing.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you ask him, he'd probably be like, well, I've heard, I don't know. I was talking with some people, and they were going to bring me in as the bodyguard. And then I was going to, eventually get into some wrestling. But if, first you were going to come in as the muscle for, which I thought was cool. So I kind of work. I'm not even going to mention names.
Virgil.
Because this story gets me in more trouble with one guy, because at the end of the story, I'm not going to get into the story, but at the end of the story, some bad shit happened. Why they didn't call me. And I found out. And the person that told me, was part of the deal. And, it just turned out bad, because I blew up over the situation and I mentioned his name, and it was just stupid. But
I didn't even know any of that when I was asking the question. I'm just an NWO fan.
I was going to be, but yeah, nobody knows, because I don't talk about it really. I was going to be in their thing. Then all of a sudden one day, I was calling the people. They weren't calling me back. And I'm like, what the fuck? Ain't nobody calling me. I'd call somebody else. I can't think of the guy's name. Though, but he was in charge. He had a real weird voice. But all of a sudden I'm watching TV, and then I see Virgil come out as the bodyguard of the nation.
Yeah.
And so, what's cool about that is I became the Godfather out of it.
Yep.
Okay. Where did what question right on cue? Next one I had for you was, where did the Godfather idea come from? I mean, being in Vegas was okay. I was going to say being in Vegas, it was pretty much probably your life, but
I moved out here to work in strip clubs.
Okay.
And I start working in strip clubs at a place called the Crazy Horse. It's not even there anymore. There was two of them. I worked at both of them, but it was 84 maybe. I came to work out here, and I came out here because I was offered a job in a strip club. And at the time, I just got out of college. It's probably 84. I just got out of college. And I was making like $300, $350 a week after taxes. And somebody's like, dude, my dad owns a strip club, and the guys there make $300-400 a day. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And so I went home, and I was married at the time. I basically said, we're moving to Las Vegas. And I was working for a trucking company that it was like United. It was called Three-Way. And they moved shit all over the world, and I got to know all the guys. So I had a Harley, a 55 Ford pickup truck, and a brand new 84 convertible 5.0 Mustang that I had to get out here. And they moved everything out here for free for me. And bam, I start working in topless clubs in 84, 85 at the latest, but I think it was 84.
That's pretty awesome. My first job actually was being the DJ at a strip club here in Vancouver.
Cool.
I've never actually told that story to many people before, because it's like 25 years ago.
See what I bring out in people?
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah. Do you still got the chain?
No.
Okay.
I was going to ask you. Okay, go ahead.
I don't, here's my problem. I'm not a hoarder. I don't hoard. I don't hang on to shit. So at the time that I was doing all that type of stuff, it never dawned on me that the Undertaker was going to be because the Undertaker to me is just my buddy Mark.
Yeah.
We're just my bud. We're my home. I was just talking to him. He just had a birthday a couple of days ago. And he told me he hates me because he's 3 years younger than me. He said, but I look 20 years younger than him. He doesn't smoke. That's his fucking problem, Mark. I keep telling him.
Yeah.
You don't smoke. He's never smoked. Anyway.
We should have to ask him that on the air. I'll have to drill it into him when I talk. One day in my life, get to talk to the Undertaker.
He never smokes. I asked him last time I seen him. It was on that Survivor Series show that he was on, and I asked him. I'm like, dude, so many people ask me, "Do you smoke?" And I'm like, I don't remember you ever even trying. He goes, "Nah, I've never been a smoker." I'm like, yeah, I don't remember him. I was the smoker.
You're tuning into I Only Touch Greatness podcast, Vancouver's best show with Ryan Hayes.
Often imitated but never duplicated, I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes. Looking for the most beers on tap, great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Say Hayes sent you.
Vancouver, BC is a part of me. No matter where I call home or where I sleep, I will forever be from the street to the V, where I learn to stand tall on my own 2 feet. Vancouver, BC is a part of me. I'm from Van City, grew up in Vancouver. Way back when we was taking taxis, not Ubers. We